Sentence to be a hero agenda time. It's time to gas this to the moon. Shout out to Aninews. It's been a while, bro. It's been a while. Aninews reactions hasn't happened in a while because, you know, last season there was nothing. And bro was covering Overlord and stuff that I can't touch just yet. But we back. We back. You gotta be covering more content. Let's check out why Sentence to be a Hero could be the best anime of winter 2026.
In a season of titans like Frieren, Jujutsu Kaisen, Fate, or Oshinoko, it's hard to imagine a brand new
Hey, mention Hell's Paradise! Hell's Paradise Season 2! I see Hell's Paradise Season 2 poster being compared with the likes of these shows. And I'm like, oh, does it have that much motion? I want it to have that much motion.
Oshinoko. It's hard to imagine a brand new series could beat out all of them. Every single one has such incredible talent behind them that in any other
Hell's
season,
Paradise.
they alone would stand above the rest.
Yep.
Winter 2026.
Exactly. These are season-defining shows, but stacked in a single season, right? These are like frontliner. These are like headliner shows that many people were talking about, but we got them all in one.
6 just so happens to be incredibly stacked though, so where normally 1 or 2 anime would shine and garner all the attention, this season has at least 6.
Yeah.
We're absolutely feasting and I'm 100% here for it. There is one anime in particular I can't let slide under the radar though, and that's Sentenced to be a Hero. The prison records of Penal Hero Unit 9004.
Suicide Squad.
Now, before I even tell you why this is going to be worth your time, just take a quick look at this first.
Sakuga. In the trailers. Oh my god, the animation, the art, the soundtrack, the movement, oh, the smokes and the explosions, the compositing, the impact frames.
Well, if you were able to recognize this as the
Mushoku Tensei!
same art style of Mushoku Tensei Season 1, that's because it pretty much is.
That's right.
The director Hiroyuki Takashima is the same man who brought us amazing scenes like this.
The bread Sakuga, bro.
And this.
Orston versus my goat, Ruijerd.
He's working alongside Yoshitake Nakakoji, who together did some great work as the key animators and animation directors for Mushoku Tensei.
Yeah.
Now, you've probably seen me make these references before, but quality work like this should always be praised. It's why I'm so confident this new series by them will turn out amazing.
Absolutely. In terms of production value, yes. But in terms of audience retention, I don't know. These type of shows where you have so many different roster of characters being highlighted, it's hard to juggle them and get everyone still going. It's kind of like 2B Hero X, or I think another anime was Ishira, which was like you're hyping up all these different characters, and every episode was kind of teaching them about their backstory and lore, and that constant context shifting, it dissuades viewers from, you know, being engaged. I hope that I'm wrong about this anime and it's not like that, and it's gonna be better.
Series by them will turn out amazing. Top that off with the series and script composition being done by Kenta Ihara, and I promise the narrative, pacing, and plot will be crafted as meticulously as possible.
Good.
For reference, he's the same man who helped adapt Vinland Saga, Yojo Senki, and Death Parade.
God damn, what a resume.
So, unless the original light novel is absolute trash, already Sentenced to be a Hero has a promising outlook for its quality.
Yep. Just, what was the other anime? My Status as an Assassin, you know, easily surpasses the hero or whatever. That one where it's just like the quality of the story was fucking trash that the production value can't save it.
What then is Sentenced to be a Hero? Well, as a web novel first serialized by the author Rocket Shokai on the platform Kakuyomu, it would later go on to become the #1 series in the user recommended category there.
Wow.
A year later, it would be published as a light novel, and in the awards for Japan's up-and-coming light novels, Sentenced to be a Hero would receive 2nd place.
Okay, #2, that's pretty damn good. I wonder what #1 was.
So, in only its first couple years of release, Sentenced to be a Hero had become quite popular. I can imagine that's because this isn't just your typical half-baked fantasy, it's a brutal war story governed by rigid rules and consequences.
How brutal is it gonna get? This should better be more dark and gory than Mugen Gacha from last season. If you can't top that, nah, it's not gory.
One that deliberately subverts the traditional power fantasy tropes. It's a world where being a hero is a life sentence, death is nothing but a revolving door, and every victory just reinforces the system that keeps them fighting there forever.
Okay.
So, this is a post-apocalyptic world where attacks by demons are rampant, but not in the traditional sense like a demon lord and their army.
Oof, that looks so good.
Demons here are more like a blight. Anomalies in nature turned monster that then attack anything and everything.
It's like a virus.
It's probably more accurate to compare them to zombies since their threat to humanity is constant and relentless.
It's like a bunch of waves, huh? And they just keep coming. And we gotta keep summoning these prisoners to go in and battle, and they die and you go get back to the field. Now, I wonder what is gonna be different in this, not reincarnation, but like resurrecting mechanic. Because if you can just die and come back, the stakes are not high. So there's gotta be a consequence, restriction, punishment that, you know, makes us think, oh, just because you're gonna die, it doesn't matter. No, it does matter.
That being the case, the fight against them is this never-ending war that requires a constant presence on the front lines. It's there you're either a hero or a holy guard, two factions both serving the same purpose.
Hero and holy guard. The heroes are the prisoners being summoned, and the holy guard, I guess, are just NPC soldiers with some notable generals. I hope the holy guard can keep up in power scaling with the heroes.
The only difference is that where one is more your standard Knight of the Kingdom, the other is a forced position given to those convicted of the most heinous crimes imaginable. That's right, criminals in this world are sentenced to heroism, and that's essentially a fate worse than death.
And there it is, right? The title, sentenced to be a hero. What do you mean sentenced to be a hero? How do you get that? Sounds like a punishment. You're like, you know, you committed a crime that you're sentenced to whatever in jail, but nah, your punishment is to be a hero and keep fighting, and there is no end. There is no peace. This shit is like Fate with like Archer, you know, being the guardian of like, yep, you're gonna keep going to the front lines and you're gonna keep fighting over and over, and there is no end. There's no peace.
Reason being that in addition to having to complete the most difficult missions like some sort of Suicide Squad, you're not even granted having to complete the most difficult missions like some...
The lolly character acting here. Very cute. Her hair is on fire too, huh? I guess that's part of her power. I wonder how much motion she's gonna make. I wonder how many videos and drama we can farm about tourists being triggered by the lolly fan service in this anime.
Some sort of Suicide Squad, you're not even granted the sweet release of death should you die while completing them. Nope. Death just means getting resurrected and sent right back to the battlefield.
Again.
This has adverse consequences in and of itself, since even if death isn't the end, dying too much could be.
Interesting how there's like a focus onto these marks, right? So maybe the more times you die, these are like more marks you get.
Consequences in and of itself, since even if death isn't the end, dying too much could be. With resurrection costing a piece of you every time it happens, eventually you just become hollow.
Okay.
You become this shell of your former self, and that could very well be a fate worse than death.
Dark Souls shit. You've just gone hollow. You're a ghoul. You have no humanity. And at that point, you're just like a mindless zombie. Just keep fighting. I'd like to see one of those characters that can actually control and still pop off.
Now, the specific group we follow is Penal Hero Unit 9004, a truly unhinged ragtag group of misfits much like how DC's Suicide Squad is.
Cool.
Some are genuine criminals well deserving of their role as hero, while others not so much. There's the disgraced Knight Captain Xylo, the prolific thief Dota, the delusional engineer Norgal, the crazed berserker Tatsuya, then a few others we'll meet along the way.
Mustache Man better be hype. Fat mustache man, look at him twinkling his mustachio. I hope he's hype.
Cool. The crazed berserker Tatsuya, then a few others we'll meet along the way.
Okay.
They're commanded by the political convict Benetim, and together their dysfunctional dynamic...
Why is the one dude with Japanese name the ghoul? Nordel, Doita, Xylo. And then you have Tatsuya. Bro feels like the only Japanese isekai character amongst the group of like other people.
Engineer Norgal, the crazed berserker Tatsuya, then a few others we'll meet along the way. They're commanded by the political convict Benetim, and together their dysfunctional dynamic combined with the dystopic setting creates for quite the unique take on what a hero party can look like.
So not only do we have a lolly, we also have a Shota, okay?
With the dystopic setting creates for quite the unique take on what a hero party can look like. Our main character is the former captain of the Holy Knights Xylo, a now sentenced hero for the crime of goddess slaying.
Oh, that's interesting. Goddess? Bro, what? And he's a former Holy Knight too. So the Holy Knights that he's gonna be there with, they know of the captain. There's some drama.
Captain of the Holy Knights Silo, a now sentenced hero for the crime of goddess slaying.
What? That's
Goddesses
crazy.
aren't your typical deities either, but rather these organic weapons capable of summoning miracles.
The lolly is a goddess? The goddess is a weapon? Okay.
So, as a veteran who fought on the front lines before, Xylo takes the field again with a different unit. It's here he'll come across a new goddess, team up with her, and try to survive this never-ending war against the demons.
I'm sure Xylo didn't actually kill the goddess out of like ill intent. I'm sure it's like a misunderstood guy and there was only one thing that he could have done for her, and it was, I don't know, maybe it's like granting mercy on the goddess and she says, please let me die, right? And now he's getting blamed for this shit. That's kind of the direction I feel like this character's being set up for. Hard to believe he's just like an evil piece of shit. More like a tragic, misunderstood hero.
It's a new goddess, team up with her and try to survive this never-ending war against the demons. I don't really know anything about this goddess, but just based on this single pose alone,
The fire.
she looks like a weird combination of Kashirika and Eris.
She's very flamboyant. Yeah. She's very proud of herself. She's got a lot of personality.
Like, all the
She got a lot of personality, but she's lacking a lot of personality too, and I'm sure a lot of people enjoy that.
attitude of Eris with the confidence of Kashirika. Combine that with power that seems akin to Gilgamesh's Gate of Babylon, and I think we're in for some pretty awesome action scenes.
Beautiful impact frames.
In any case, the war isn't the only thing these two will be navigating, as beyond that lies the mysteries behind a messed up society such as this. Remember when I said the world was governed by rigid rules and consequences? Well, not everything is as it seems. The institutions that create those rules and engineer the outcomes bound by them do so in a way that leaves many answers to be desired.
A conspiracy!
So, the
Mysteries!
deeper we get, the more we see corruption beyond the demons, and
Hell yeah. Like, why are they doing this? I don't know. Maybe they're the ones that is setting the demons up, right? They're creating the problem so they can sell the solution. I don't know. I love conspiracies and like the group that we should believe in. They're actually the bad people.
it's Xylo's position in between all that which makes for quite the captivating story. I wouldn't say it's anything too complex, but with a world so fresh and characters so unique, I don't think it really needs to be.
Cool.
The dynamic of the unit alone seems so interesting already. Plus, this seems like a series where each character will get quite a bit of focus, so I'm curious to see what each of their own stories are. The most recent trailer highlighted a lot of them equally, including the moments when they were sentenced. They were scenes that looked like they'll be used to build up the larger overarching plot. Still, with a cast of characters as big as this, it might be tough to develop all of them.
Yep, that's the problem with our big roster of characters, so it'll be interesting how they handle it.
Especially if they're only doing 12 episodes.
Yep.
We might get lucky and get 24, but news on that hasn't been confirmed yet.
Part 2 announced. By the end of season 1, boom, sentenced to be a hero. Part 2, core 2, season 2, whatever. And it's coming. Imagine it's already like been planned, like One Punch Man.
Fortunately, we are getting a 60-minute first episode, so
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll develop the plot nicely. It's also the first clear indicator we're in for something great. Not many anime open with a 1 hour long first episode.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of them have been doing it recently. Not all of them, but I've been noticing a new meta of just like your first episode, like Face Strange Fake. I mean, they've been fucking around, right? So that's why they're releasing episode 0, Whispers of Dawn, and episode 1 together, right? Which is basically 3 episodes in one, right? Oshinoko, first episode, that was like a fucking movie length, right? I'm kind of a fan. I like these long, you know, I used to hate on it because it's just like, fuck, that's just so much more content that we gotta farm out. But in terms of just like an intro pilot episode to get us hooked on, especially for shows like this where they're doing a lot of exposition and character like introductions, that happens a lot in Fate too, right? Like Fate Zero, for example, the first pilot episode, it's just a fat fucking, you know, like half a movie length of developing and introducing all these new characters setup. It's gonna be probably similar.
But of the ones that do, usually they end up being pretty good.
Yeah?
And Crunchyroll even went so far as to do a premiere in movie theaters for it.
And they've been doing a lot of marketing. What I've seen online on Twitter too is the English voice acting, right? And these are good signals, I think, right? The fact that they're doing so much marketing, they're actually doing social media engagement. English voice actors are being announced, and you know, say I don't care about the English dub, but it's cool to see how the production behind the scenes and the marketing that they're doing It's like signals. I'm confident that they are invested. They are not fucking around with this.
There is, however, one detail I'm trying to understand, and that's the need for 22 animation directors and 132 second key animators.
And that usually is a bad sign, right? Doing, Sakuga studies, learning about production value, if you have this many, it's not a good thing. It usually means time crunch and, things are being outsourced and there's too many, cooks in the kitchen and the vision of the original, just like direction is gone and everyone's just kind of mismatching. But who knows, right? That's usually the case that we've seen in just butchered, rushed projects, but maybe it's different for now.
I'm not too familiar with what the standard is for the industry, but based on what I've read online, it's apparently not the greatest to have so many second
JC Staff! How could JC Staff do this? How could JC Staff do this? How could JC Staff ruin Sentenced to be a Hero after they fucking just ruined One Punch Man? One Punch Man wasn't enough? Now you're gonna bring your bullshit here too? Nicholas Light was right.
Second key animators. As the people responsible for touching up the key animation from the core animators, a large number of them can sometimes be an indicator of heavy outsourcing and rushed production.
White Fox on here too.
I'm sure that's not the case for this series, but just for reference, the original Mushoku Tensei only had about 20. Most outsourced to Studio White Fox. That said, it's usually feature-length films like The Chainsaw.
That's actually so hype that, Studio White Fox, ReZero, Mushoku Tensei, Studio Bind, the authors being friends and helping each other out when retards online are just engaging in Phantom Wars.
To Studio White Fox. That said, it's usually feature-length films like the Chainsaw Man movie or Jujutsu Kaisen that requires such a large number of them. So either we're getting movie budget quality all the way through, or something else is happening at
I love when this many talent is placed. It's like one or the other. It's gonna be movie quality all the way to the end, or it's gonna be chopped fucking garbage. Let's go.
Studio Kai. Personally, I like to think it's the former.
Oh yeah, we can just ask Evakoi. Evakoi working on this. He's working on Studio Kai. I don't know if he's allowed to, give us insider information. I'm sure Evakoi could actually have a better understanding of what things are behind the scenes, unless he's being siloed into his own part and he has no idea of the collaboration happening beyond that, like the Blue Lock project.
The newest trailer does show quality beyond what we've seen in any of the others, so we can only hope they can maintain it all the way through. And for those who have been lucky enough to see the premiere already, the general consensus was that it was great. Both the story and animation. So, in a season where so many anime will be competing for the top, you really don't want to miss out on this one.
I think that Jujutsu Kaisen is gonna be #1. Simply by the nature of the type of show it is, and the amount of motion and hype and fandom, memes, and culture there is in Jujutsu Kaisen. And the fact that Modulo is also popping off right now, JJK I think has all the reasons to succeed no matter what. Frieren, I think, is going to be a strong contender, but because, again, of its nature, of it being more slice of life and less action focused, I think that obviously it's going to miss out on the Unga Bunga ball gun gamer type crowd, So I think JJK #1, and it's designed by that. It doesn't mean it's a better anime. I'm just thinking about demographics, audience, and motion that I see online. JJK and Frieren, I think, is going to be #1, #2, and it's going to be interesting to see what #3 will be.
It'd be a shame to skip on something so high quality just because you never got the chance to even hear about it. Luckily, Crunchyroll is promoting it rather heavily, so I wouldn't be surprised if it becomes pretty popular.
They're going all in.
For me, I've been craving a fantasy like this for a while now. So, once that first episode airs on January 3rd, you can bet I'll have a cut content ready for you just a few days after.
Hell yeah!
This and Fate Strange Fake are going to be the series I'll be covering this season.
Thank you.
So, if you want to see more content.
Thank you. And then he can also supplement us with cut content and references that's going to go over our heads, because Giguk told us to just go in without prep, right? How could Giguk do this?
And like that, then be sure to subscribe with notifications.
Yo, you should be doing JJK content. That's the thing about Aninews. This guy's channel is very interesting in the niche that he is in. And his niche and crowd is literally like our niche and crowd. And that's why I've been farming him for years now. I'm so thankful that he's covering so much like isekai, fantasy, right? Not really battle shonen as much, right? But I love how like this type of videos, it's not only does he pop off and he makes great content, it's just within our local audience too. So I'm very thankful.
Notifications on. We've got a big season ahead of us, and Sentenced to be a Hero is just the start of it.
Yes, sir.
For other big hitters, you can check out this video, and for all the fantasy and isekai, that'll be out next week.
We'll probably check this video out too. please check out Mr. Aninews. Link to the video right over here. Go give him a sub and like his channel if you like content like this. He makes such good content, bro. You should definitely check it out. See you next time. Bye-bye.